Hello, this is XStarKillerX here and welcome back to another Runescape Top 10 Countdown. So this time we are going to be looking at my personal top 10 quests. Now this list is going to be opinionated, so just a heads up. Let's get into the video. Number 10. Priest in Peril. Now this quest was originally released on the 29th of June 2004. The basis of this quest is you are sent by King Ryld in order to investigate the temple and to aid Driesel in recovering the temple from the evil Zamorak monks. Now the reason that this quest stands out for me is the fact that you have to do it in order to access Mortania. I don't think you have to do any more, but back in the day you had to do this quest in order to get into Mortania and hence do all the stuff which is in there. I can still remember I always wanted to do this quest as I was so desperate to do the Barrows minigame. Number 9. Animal Magnetism. Now this quest was originally released on the 12th of December 2006, and most people remember this quest being the one which you obtain Ava's accumulator, hence a tractor, from. The basis behind this quest is you have to help Ava gather supplies in order to make Ava's accumulator. Now the reason that this quest means a lot to me is because obviously it's the quest you have to do to obtain Ava's accumulator, which later can be updated into Ava's attractor, which obviously was a great help and still is back in the day, helping you train range and saving you precious GPs. Number 8. The Hero's Quest. Now this quest was originally released on the 27th of February 2002, and the basis behind this quest is you have to do a wide variety of tasks in order to prove yourself worthy of entering the guild. Now the reason that this quest stands out particularly for me is that this is the quest that you have to do in order to access the Legends Guild, which I thought was amazing. There's obviously you got the Legends Cape, and it is also required to do the Throne of Miscellanea quest, which I couldn't wait to do, as obviously you could then do the Miscellanea, the Distraction and Diversion, which I think is awesome. Number 7. The Legends Quest. Now this was originally released back on the 20th of August 2003. Now the premise behind this quest is that you are sent by the Guild Master Radamus Urkel to explore the map of the Karazar jungle in the southern part of Karamja, which then evolves into you fighting a big demon. So the reason that this stands out for me is just such an epic quest. Everybody can remember when they did the Legends quest, and also it was also a requirement to do while Kufik sleeps, which was also a pivotal point for me, and also the Branches of Darkmere, which allowed me to do one of my favourite tasks, which is killing Firewatchers, which is actually quite good money, and still is. Yeah, just a great quest. Number 6. Nomad's Requiem. Now this quest was originally released on the 11th of January 2010. The story behind this is that you have to go into Nomad's little tent and investigate the underground, doing all sorts of different challenges, defeating a Soul Wars avatar, and then fighting the man Nomad himself. Now the reason that this quest stood out for me so much is for the fact that it was the first quest that pissed me off the most. It's as probably some of you know that have done this, back in the day before EOC, this was an absolute sod to kill Nomad was, due to his many abilities which would basically kill you in one shot. And most of the time which I failed, I ran out of food, unfortunately. So, and when I finally did kill Nomad, I felt like screaming to the top of my person, to the highest I could. It was just a great feeling completing this quest. Number 5. The Temple of Sentistion. Sorry if I said that wrong. This quest was originally released on the 3rd of December 2009 and is a sequel to the quest Desert Treasure. In this quest you will need to assist the Majora Azandra to re-establish contact with the lost god Zaros. Now the reason that this quest stands out for me and probably a lot of people is this is the quest that gives you ancient prayers, such as Turmoil and the Explosive Prayer. It's just a pivotal point in any RuneScape player's history, that they all remember that point when they first got their hands on Ancients. Number 4. Monkey Madness. Now this quest was originally released on the 6th of December 2004. The premise behind this quest is it carries on with the Gnomish storyline being a sequel to the Grand Tree. In your quest you have to track down the missing 10th squad, the quest mainly takes place on the fabled island Apatol. Now the reason that this quest stands out for me and many other players is it is a pivotal part of a RuneScape player's life, in my personal opinion, as it's sort of rite of passage once you've done Monkey Madness, you're like the boss. And also it is required in order to use the rune Scimitar and do Recipe for Disaster to its full. Yeah, it's just a very memorable quest, especially fighting that jungle demon. Number 3. While Guthix Sleeps. Now this quest was originally released on the 26th of November 2008. It is known as the sequel to the Temple of Ikov quest and is the longest and the hardest quest in RuneScape's history. It was also the first Grandmaster quest ever released. Now this quest is also being known for one of the most immersive storylines ever in RuneScape. And this quest stands out for me, one for that very reason. It was a very, very intense quest. And it was just absolutely great fun to play. And we did learn a lot about RuneScape's history. And we also learned a bit about Stone of Jazz as well. It's just a brilliant, brilliant quest. And it was one of my favourites ever to complete. And plus we get to kick a tormented demon's ass, which you don't get to do every day. Number 2. Recipe for Disaster. Now this was originally released on the 15th of March 2006. And is known for being the sequel to Cook's Assistant. It is composed of 10 subquests, which range from easy difficulty to very hard. Now, the reason that this stands out, personally for me, is it's just a pivotal point in a RuneScape player's life on RuneScape. Everybody can remember that day when they first completed Recipe for Disaster, and all the currency you have to get to do the damn quest, which is a hell of a lot. It is tended to be the quest which every member can start, but obviously the more advanced you get in the game, the more you're able to have finished. And yeah, it's just a fantastic quest. It's got so many different areas you have to explore, and it really makes you go and look at the whole of RuneScape. It's just a brilliant, brilliant quest. And number 1, Desert Treasure. Now this was originally released on the 18th of April 2005. The premise behind this quest is that you have to help the Madra Alexandra in his escape from this pyramid prison in the Caribbean desert. Now the reason that this quest stands out for me and probably everyone else in RuneScape is because this is the quest that gives you ancient magics, and the quest itself is absolutely fantastic. You have to get you have to get the diamonds, you have to defeat all the bosses. It's just a fantastic quest. I love doing all the fights. It was just brilliant. And I was also always terrified that I'd get absolutely shanked up the arse by a stranger. If you don't know what they are, they can appear when you have the diamonds in your inventory. But it's only a very slight chance, and I never saw it when I was doing the quest. So yeah, it's just an absolutely fantastic quest, and I can always remember getting super stressed out at the boss fights as well, because it's just a pivotal point. You have to go get the things, then go to the pyramid in the middle and run through without getting shanked by the scarabs. So yeah, fantastic quest, and my personal number 1. Okay, that is it for this episode. So, if you enjoyed, don't forget to punch the like button, leave a comment down below, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, maybe to follow me on Twitter, which is linked down below as always. So, last thing to say, thank you so much for watching. I've been NextDogCorrect, and I'll see you all in the next RuneScape Countdown.